The cameras came to life under the polished glow of the Good Morning America studio, the morning energy buzzing through the air like static before a storm. Michael Strahan adjusted his cufflinks and flashed his practiced, charming grin toward the audience. The crowd clapped on cue, the teleprompter urging enthusiasm as he leaned forward to introduce the guest of the hour, Hollywood's own Mark Wahlberg. "Ladies and gentlemen," Strahan announced, his voice booming across the soundstage, "please welcome actor, producer, and fitness mogul, Mark Wahlberg." The audience erupted into applause. Mark strode in from the wings, his signature swagger and compact frame wrapped in a sharp navy jacket and dark jeans. His eyes swept over the audience briefly, polite, professional, before landing on Strahan, whose smile seemed just a little too rehearsed. They shook hands mid-stage, two titans of different worlds. "Mark, man, good to see you again," Strahan began, gesturing to the plush interview chairs. "How's life treating you?" Mark grinned, lowering himself into the seat. "Life's good, brother. Early mornings, late nights, lots of work. You know the drill," the audience chuckled. It started easy, as these things always did. Light talk about his upcoming film, Steel Heart, a gritty drama about redemption and second chances. Mark spoke with measured confidence, leaning forward occasionally, connecting with the crowd. But Strahan, sensing the segment needed juice, began edging toward the kind of personal territory that got views. "So," he said, glancing down at his notes with that too casual smirk, "you've got this reputation, Mark. Tough guy. Catholic family man, early riser, disciplined, but some people say that image is, let's just say, a little too polished. That maybe you've had your fair share of rough patches." Mark's jaw flexed. "Well, I've been open about my past," he said evenly. "Made mistakes when I was young, paid for them, learned from them. That's what life's about." Right, Strahan nodded, his tone friendly but edged. "But when you talk about discipline, about faith, people can find that a little intense. You ever think maybe you're coming off as self-righteous?" A low murmur rippled through the audience. Mark blinked, his smile flattening slightly. "Self-righteous?" he repeated, testing the word like it had a bad taste. "Nah, I just believe in earning what you have. Discipline's not arrogance, man. It's respect for yourself and the people around you." Strahan chuckled softly, sensing the tension and leaning into it. Sure. But not everyone can wake up at 2:30 a.m., hit the gym for 3 hours, and then go to church before breakfast. Some might say that's a little obsessive." The laughter from the audience this time wasn't kind. Mark's eyes sharpened. "You calling faith obsessive, Michael?" Strahan raised his hands in mock surrender, laughing awkwardly. "Hey, I'm just saying what some folks might think, man. You've built this whole brand on being the ultimate grinder. But you ever relax? Or is it all control, all the time?" The silence that followed stretched thin. Even the sound crew froze behind their cameras. Mark sat back, eyes fixed on Strahan, his Boston edge starting to seep into his tone. "You know, it's funny," he said slowly. "You talk about control, but you sit here reading lines someone else wrote for you. I live my life by what I believe, not what'll get clicks." A faint gasp rippled through the studio. Strahan's easygoing smile wavered. "Come on, Mark, don't get all serious on me." "I am serious," Mark interrupted, his voice firm. "You don't mock someone's faith or their work ethic just because it doesn't fit your comfort zone. I didn't come here to play games or feed some headline about how Mark Wahlberg's too intense. I came to talk about a movie that's about real people fighting through real struggles. That's what matters." The clip hit the internet within an hour. By noon, it had gone viral. Headlines screamed across entertainment outlets. Mark Wahlberg walks out on Good Morning America. Wahlberg confronts Strahan over faith remarks. Live tension boils over. The thumbnails were all the same. Mark standing up mid-interview, Strahan frozen mid-smile, the moment before the calm snapped. In the glass-walled offices of ABC's production wing, chaos had erupted. Phone lines rang nonstop, the control room buzzed with speculation, and publicists scrambled to spin the story. Michael Strahan sat quietly in his dressing room, his usual charm dimmed by the weight of the morning. He replayed the clip on his phone, watching himself lean in, smirking, saying that line. You ever think maybe you're coming off as self-righteous? Each replay made it sound worse. He sighed heavily, setting the phone down. Damn, he muttered. There was a knock on the door. His producer, Lila Jensen, peeked in, clipboard in hand, expression tight. You're trending #1, she said flatly. Yeah, he replied. That good or bad? She raised an eyebrow. Depends. Half the internet's calling Mark a hero for standing up for his beliefs. The other half thinks you were just doing your job. It's split. Michael leaned back, rubbing his temples. I didn't mean to offend the guy. Intent doesn't matter, she said. Perception does. He laughed softly, humorless. Welcome to TV. Across town, in a sleek hotel suite overlooking Central Park, Mark Wahlberg sat by the window, phone buzzing non-stop with messages. His publicist, Donna, paced behind him, fielding calls from every major outlet. CNN wants a statement. Fox, too. TMZ's already camped outside the lobby, she said, half exasperated, half impressed. You sure you don't want to just clear the air? Mark didn't look away from the skyline. Not yet. Donna sighed. Mark, you walking out live on GMA? That's a big deal. People think you hate Strahan now. I don't hate him, Mark said quietly, but someone had to push back. I've spent years trying to show that people can change, that you don't have to be ashamed of having principles. Then I go on national TV and the first thing he does is mock that? Mock or question? She pressed. He turned finally, eyes sharp but calm. When you call someone's faith obsessive, you've crossed from curiosity into disrespect. Donna nodded slowly. Fair point. But you know what this means? There's no putting it back in the box. It's already a cultural moment. That afternoon, Mark's name dominated social feeds. Memes, reactions, hot takes, every angle imaginable. Clips from the interview racked up millions of views. Some praised his composure, calling it old-school integrity. Others mocked him, saying he couldn't handle tough questions. But the common thread was fascination. Later that day, Michael Strahan returned to the studio for a follow-up segment. The energy was subdued. The set lights still shone bright, but there was a palpable tension under the surface, the kind of silence that follows after an explosion. The producers had convinced him to address it head-on. When the red light went on, he took a breath and faced the camera. This morning's interview with Mark Wahlberg has gotten a lot of attention, he began, voice measured. And I just want to say, live television can get intense. Sometimes things don't land the way you mean them to. He paused, his eyes steady. I have a lot of respect for Mark, always have. He's a man of faith, discipline, and passion. If my words came across as disrespectful, that wasn't my intention. The apology, though brief, hit the right note. Enough humility to calm the storm, enough strength to keep his dignity. The network approved. But out in the real world, the story had already taken on a life of its own. By evening, Mark appeared on a brief Instagram Live, seated in his home gym, the hum of treadmills faint in the background. His tone was relaxed but earnest. Hey everyone, he began. I've seen the clips, the stories, the takes. Look, I don't hate anyone. I respect Michael. But I think we've gotten too used to people tearing down what they don't understand. If someone's trying to live right, do better, and keep their faith strong, that's not something to mock. That's something to respect. The comment section flooded instantly with hearts, claps, and amens. Fans and fellow celebrities chimed in, actors, athletes, even pastors echoing his sentiment.